a variety of potted plants.
I think one of the challenges for you is not to get panicky and overwhelmed.
Two older women, sit together.
I couldn't hear her breathing the other night,
First woman.
and I was sure she died. And I just...
Woman two.
I wasn't
there
snoring, so.
And I was scared.
Yeah.
And I remember lying there and thinking, what'll I do?
Overcast sky, hydro wires, and two treetops. Yellow text forms in the foreground. Title card, How We Die. Black text underneath, the future of end of life. How we die, this episode till death do us part. Exterior shot, a tidy white house. Woman two picks up a crate of folders.
It's got a lot of stuff in it. At the very front.
She brings it to the table.
Our wills.
She puts a folder on the dining table.
I think this is your packet here.
She gives the packet to woman
This
one. Woman one.
is Coburg Union Cemetery. And our plot, I'm number 236 and you're 240. Right next to each other.
Going up and having a look,
Yeah.
and that was
Nancy and
laid
Gwyn.
out for us almost, was what I really
Partners of 27
got
years.
excited about.
Yeah. And all lettering to be contracted through the cemetery. So
Oh, okay, so we'll ask there, but we'll leave the death date for now.
yes, indeed.
Nancy and Gwyn met at a music festival 27 years ago and have been a couple ever since. As Nancy is about 13 years younger, she's now become Gwyn's primary caregiver, especially since Gwyn has had several health issues, including vascular dementia.
Nancy makes her way down the basement stairs. Nancy.
The weird thing we have in the basement is Gwyn's funeral box. Just careful down the stairs. Whenever someone comes over to check the furnace or the hot water heater or something beforehand, I have to tell them we have a funeral box downstairs.
A wooden box.
So this is Gwyn's box. You can smell the pine. It's just so beautiful.
Nancy reaches inside,
My shroud is in here.
removing a white
A
shroud.
friend is going to paint the designs on it in fabric paint. So this is absolutely what I want, and Gwyn wants this. So we're both going to get what we want.
Nancy.
One thing that's important is to kind of recognize where the other person is.
Gwyn.
To have it as an open
Yeah.
issue, I think, is very important.
Right. I was actually going to store my winter clothes in Gwyn's funeral box, but then I found I had space in another place.
Nancy replaces the
The
shroud.
reality for many aging couples is that one spouse will become a primary caregiver. Often, this takes a toll not only on the relationship, but also the main caregiver. To cope, Nancy keeps in touch with friends and family, has a therapist for extra support, and makes sure she builds in time for exercise.
Nancy and Gwyn follow an exercise video. Nancy.
Caregiving, it's something that both of us have come to accept as necessary. Sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's hard, sometimes I resent it. But those are my issues that I have to work through because she would do that for me.
Nancy makes tea.
I would tell people, talk about the importance of having support, outside of the relationship, because it's not an easy process for either the person being cared for or the person who is doing the caring. Just waiting for Gwyn's tea to steep a little bit.
Nancy pours water in a mug.
Doesn't like it very strong.
Gwyn.
Most of caregiving happens to me, not by me. She looks after me so well.
Nancy and Gwyn leave the house.
Nancy and Gwyn decided to start planning their green burials as something they could share together. This eco-friendly approach involves burying an unembalmed body with minimal environmental impact.
In the car, they arrive at the cemetery.
This is it, folks.
Green section for eco-burials.
Cemetery plots use rocks or markers instead of headstones and flourish into natural habitats.
Nancy helps Gwyn zipper up her jacket. Nancy.
I like seeing where our bodies will be.
Grave
when we
marker.
die.
Victoria.
It's a very beautiful, restful place.
Gwyn.
I feel at home, interestingly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, feels good. I'm feeling very confident
Now they get back in the car
about the future.
and drive off.
I have worried about that almost my whole life. I think we're sitting in a good place at the moment.
I think so.
Credits.